Alright, this first question says find the lateral area and the surface area of each right prism, round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Now, the lateral area is going to be, alright, once we find the bases. Now, I'm going to say that this top guy here is a base. And the one down here is a base too. Because for prisms, you're going to have two bases, and they're connected by all the different rectangles. So the lateral area is going to be equal to the sum of the area the lateral faces. So that means I have to take this rectangle, which is 12 by 4. So this is going to be 12 times 4. And there's another one back here that's 12 times 4. Plus another 12 times 4. And then this one's 10 by 4. So plus 10 times 4. Plus another 10 times 4. Because this guy right here is 10 plus 4. Or 10 by 4. So you have a 12 by 4 here. You have your 12 by 4. And then you have your 10 by 4. And so this would be 48 plus 48 plus 40 plus 40. So that's 40 and 40 is 80, 120, 160, 168, 176, 176. And then we could say 176 square miles. So this is a really, really big shape. If it's 12 by 10 miles, I think we're at 15 mile, we'd have to go down to 3 mile. That would be how big one of the sides was. There isn't even a 3 mile. It gets down to about 6 mile. I think there might be a 5 mile, I'm not sure. But you're talking almost from here to the Renaissance Center. Well past Comerica Park. Now, when you want to find the total surface area, this is going to be that 176 miles squared plus 2 times the area of the base. Now, I chose the base to be this guy right here and this guy right here, the 12 by 10. So it'd be 12 times 10. Now, the thing is, with a rectangular one, I could have chosen this is my base and this is my base, the 12 by 4 and the 12 by 4. And it's still connected by a bunch of rectangles, or the 10 by 4 and the 10 by 4, thank you. Those could have been the bases as well. So with the rectangular one, you could get, honestly, whatever you choose as your base, you can get 3 different answers for a lateral area, unless it's defined what the base is. I might give you, if I give you a problem like this, and I want you to figure out lateral area and total surface area, I'll tell you which. I'll either tell you which ones are the base, or you get to choose. So your answer could be totally different based on what you choose. The total surface area is always going to be the same. Now, so this is going to be 176 plus 12 times 10, that's 120 times 2. Well, what's 12 times 2? Well, 12 times 2, not 12 squared. So it's 240. So, and that's miles squared. This guy has to be there. Whenever we talk about quantities, units have to be there. So you can't get around that. So you get 6, 11, 416. square miles. All right, and that's thankfully what the answer sheet says it should be, which is good. It's always nice to get the answer right. But like I said, if you had chosen this guy as your base, which you could have, and this guy as your base, that would have thrown off everything. Because you would have had this big one, two of the big ones, and then two of the 10x4s. And that would have been a different lateral area. And as long as you can justify what you're doing, you're in business. Now, like I said, rectangular prism is the only one that works that way. Because this guy right here, rectangular pentagonal prism, since it's pentagonal, we have to look for the pentagon. And the lateral area is going to be all the rectangles here. What you're going to do is you're going to add up. You're going to say it's going to be 2 times 5 times 7. Because it's 2 by 7 here, 2 by 7 there, 2 by 7 there, 2 by 7 there. So you get your perimeter here, which would be 10 times 7, and that would be millimeters squared. And so that's 70 millimeters squared. Now, what's the big thing you got to worry about with this one? How do you figure out the surface area of a regular pentagon? Now, a pentagon is not as easy as the other shapes. So, let me show you how to do this. A regular polygon. Area is going to be 1/2 times A times capital P, where A is equal to something called an apothem or an apothem, depending on who you talk to, and P is equal to the perimeter. And the whole idea comes from this. If this is our shape, and I know this is 2 millimeters, and this, from the center of the shape to one side, is your apothem. And unfortunately, you have to use some trig. For a pentagon, and the idea is this: if you cut this up, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 congruent triangles. So if I can figure out the area of one of the triangles, I can figure out the area of the entire shape. And I have to get that apothem because I need base times height. Base is 2, the apothem is going to be the height. Then I multiply it by 5. So this line cuts it in half, so those two are, that's a 1 and that's a 1. Now I got to figure out this angle. That angle, the central angle, is equal to 360 divided by 5. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, and they make up the entire circle. So we have to do 360 divided by 5, which would be 72. So that's a 1. That's my A. And this angle right here is 72. So if I cut the 72 in half, what's this angle right here then? What's half of 72? 36. So that's 36 degrees. Now, if I'm in a right triangle, do I know how to figure out what the apothem's going to be? I have an angle, I have an acute angle. What side is this? Yeah, that's the opposite side. What side is this? The adjacent side. So how can I figure out the apothem? Which one? SOHCAHTOA? Which one has opposite and adjacent? The tangent does. Thanks. So the tangent of 36 degrees is equal to the opposite, which is 1 over A. So the apothem is going to be one over the tangent of 36 degrees. And we can grab a calculator. Remember, the calculators might be in radian modes because all my other classes use those. Divided by the tangent of 36. Then I need to put the degree thing in there. And then I'm going to store that into A. Because that's my apothem now. So A is going to be approximately 1.37. Alright, so now I have these. For this triangle, it'll be 1/2 the base, which is 2, times the apothem, and that's in my calculator, so it's A. And how many of those triangles are there? There's 5. Alright, I'm going to store that into B. And now if I go back over here, the surface area is going to be 2 times the area of the base plus 70. So it'd be 2 times B plus 70 is 87.7638. Now, I'll give you a formula for the apothem. And this is what you'll have to use. You could say your apothem is equal to one half the length of the side of the shape, no matter what the shape is. You take the side, you divide it by 2, and then it's going to be the tangent of 1/2 times 360 divided by n. So even better yet, you could take this and say it'll be 180 over n, where n is equal to the number of sides. Now, I don't think I'll give you much more than a pentagon, if anything. Any other questions?